Namaste, Jay Bharat. The changing world order and geopolitics is becoming increasingly unpredictable. The NATO could collapse, IMF might not continue as it is, and much of the world order can become different tomorrow. There is no guarantee that it's going to continue the same way. A recent incident that a US submarine, I don't want to take the name of the submarine because this should be there, the military secret. I don't want to. A US submarine, most likely nuclear, was going somewhere for their routine mission, and then near Norway, they needed to refill their backup engine. Backup engine. So the backup system they wanted to refuel. So Norway is in NATO. US is the head of the NATO. US spends money for NATO 100 times than what EU spends. That's what I understand. It means all the money is spent by US. NATO is kept as NATO because of US. And US is not in any of the area regionally, geographically, they are far flung, they are from far different place. So this request went to Norway and they refused. They refused. Now look at this. NATO member, they refused. Now this is, before refusing, Norway must have discussed with some other members of EU. But this indicates the US-EU relations. They are not anymore that friendly. And what President Trump rightly says is that why should he spend money on these people? Why should I spend money on anyone? Why should I spend money on IMF? Why should I spend money on NATO? And why should I spend money on this US aid? AIDS? And why should I spend money on any kind of coconut kingdoms? I would spend my money for my people's welfare. It's a very nationalistic kind of stand. So the point is that the NATO may not be as it is. NATO, they were comfortably living under the US protections. And what kind of experience US must have been getting? They will get the feeling that we are the boss and they will listen to us. They are not going to listen to you. They listen to you so long as it's to their convenience and comfort. So now Trump has really taken the cane, stick. Now these people will fall into place. Oh, they will have to look for some other alternatives. And the alternative to US is not going to be an easy task. See, those who, when US is placing tariff, the other countries are placing counter tariff, but they look at the situation where things will go. Why should I predict? You know it in front of your eyes. Wait and watch how things would differ in time. So the geopolitics in the global things might change, and US is rightly understanding that it's best to be friendly with Russia. Why should you maintain an enemy? That's the question. You're maintaining an enemy. See, one can understand how you maintain friends, but you don't understand how to maintain an enemy. Pakistan wants to maintain Bharat as their enemy, though they are never equal to us. At no level they are at par with us, but nonetheless they think it's in their interest and for the coexistence of the multiple groups in Pakistan to keep Bharat as their enemy. They still believe that the enemy concept will keep them together. They always had been doing it. That's a very old, foolish kind of politics. That enemy is there, so we should be together. No, people will understand who is who. In time, at least, no matter however serious propaganda continuously you make, some people will at least understand. Of course, not all, but some people will at least understand that this is a spurious kind of thing. So, why should the US maintain an enemy? So they are trying to be friendly with Russia, and Russia will be too happy because same situation is in Russia. Why should they maintain an enemy? You don't need. China, of course, wants to maintain an enemy, and they have not understood this. In spite of their history and culture, which are kept suppressed to the people of China, they are alienated. I told you. So why should Russia maintain an enemy? Why should the US maintain an enemy? And like the hyenas, people take advantage of these big powers. And the hyenas should be left alone. Let them seek their own food. Why should we maintain difference? This is very indicative of emerging geopolitics of tomorrow. We shall be hopeful for a better world tomorrow, with no conflicts, with no contradiction, and where people live in peace happily, interacting with one another, traveling from a place to another, and talking to people with open-heartedly. That's a human community which can happen, which should happen in future, and with all drawbacks of Marxism, precisely this is what Marx envisaged, though he failed to understand human nature. That's his problem. He failed to understand human nature, and then he fantasized. Like most European philosophers who were speculators, Marx also speculated. He was a philosopher per se, basically, because he also holds a PhD in philosophy, like Muhammad Iqbal of Pakistan holds a PhD in philosophy. We'll meet again with some other thought. Till then, it is Namaste. Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.